Hey everyone. So I'm going to do something a little bit different for today. So I'm going to do a one card pull and then we're going to do a guided meditation based off the card. Okay. So today's deck is going to be our handy dandy Golden Art Nouveau deck by Julia Masaglia. And we're going to see what we get. Okay. Before I do that, I'm just going to shuffle and then we're going to do a sound cleansing. You're probably not going to hear it because the audio is kind of hot garbage, but that is okay. So let's cleanse the cards. And we're just going to ask Archangel Michael for protection as always. Our good old fashioned lion symbolism. I always feel very cold to that, especially lately. I don't know if it's because it's June and it's the summertime, but we're going to just call upon that for divine protection. Okay. So let's see what we get for a one card pull mindfulness meditation. Okay. Okay, so we got the Three of Swords. All right, so I'm going to show you the artwork as always, okay? I don't know if you can see it. It might be reflecting. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So with the Three of Swords, right, like what I try to think about with this card, some type of betrayal, maybe even heartbreak. So sometimes when this shows up, it can do a lot of internal good to think about what it is specifically that is hurting our feelings. So it could be expectations, it could be hurting our own feelings. So this is the mind card, right? Swords usually has to do with our intellect, our thinking patterns. So if we are feeling a sense of heartbreak or maybe even a sense of betrayal, this could be a perceived betrayal or a literal betrayal. Okay. So what I want to do for a meditation with this card, okay, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about a situation that felt very painful in the moment. So it could be a breakup, it could be someone passing, it could be being disappointed because we didn't get a opportunity or a job. So I want you to think about what it is specifically that broke your heart in the moment. Okay. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. I'll do it with you because I can understand it probably feels weird when someone's just like, close your eyes. So first, I want you to inhale through your nose for me, okay? So inhale and then exhale. Imagine that Three of Swords, the heart in the center, okay? I want you to recall that pain, okay? And I want you to imagine it in front of you, almost as like you're taking it out of your heart and you're holding it in front of you objectively, okay? As you're inhaling, I want you to think about pain in the moment. And while you're thinking about that, I want you to imagine a color associated with the pain. So it could be red, it could be black, it could be dark green, whatever it is based off of that memory. And when you're thinking about it, I want you to imagine with every inhale, the color starts to shift into a color you associate with joy, with peace, and with optimism. So as you're thinking about this memory, okay, I want you to notice your thoughts slowly shifting from a negative viewpoint to something more positive or even neutral. Okay. So this time we're going to do a yoga breathing technique actually. So I want you to notice your stomach as you inhale. So expand that belly as you inhale and then expand your ribs. And then inhale one more time through your chest and then exhale. I want you to keep practicing that. Inhaling through your stomach, expanding that, expanding your ribs as you inhale, and then expanding your chest, inhaling again, and then exhaling. All the while, as you inhale and you exhale, you're imagining that original color of the memory shifting from that color, and it's getting lighter and lighter. You are separating yourself from that painful memory. You're remembering it slightly different. So if it was that betrayal had nothing to do with you. Your thoughts of self-blame, your thoughts of what could have I done better, your thoughts of I want to be chosen, start to slowly shift into I did the best that I could. Starts to shift into we're human. Starts to shift into I love myself and I no longer feel connected to that memory the way that I used to. Now imagine that Three of Swords, okay? Every time you inhale, one of those swords starts to slowly come out and your heart begins to heal. So inhale for me. And then as you exhale, you notice the negative thoughts start to drift from your mind. Every inhale, that Three of Swords starts to become the Two of Swords, starts to become the One of Swords, and then ends up being your heart just healing. That sense of heartbreak is no longer resonating with you right now because it doesn't serve you. Where you want to be is not where you were. So keep inhaling, exhaling for me. Noticing that heart go from feeling hurt, feeling numb, feeling empty, and start filling your heart with positive memories. And if you can't think of any positive memories right now, think about the memories that you would want a year from now. If what's important to you is friendship, I want you to imagine future memories with your friends going out, maybe going to a concert or an event, spending more time together. If you value family, imagine yourself at some graduations. Imagine yourself at some baby showers or someone's birthday. If you value relationships or love, I want you to start imagining going on dates, having fun on these dates, enjoying the process. So you're noticing the shift from that original memory of that heartbreak and perceived betrayal slowly start to turn into more neutral and positive thinking. Notice your mind expand as you go from the negative to the neutral, and then flirt with the positivity. It's going to feel uncomfortable because our minds are naturally oriented towards the negative in an effort to protect ourselves. Your brain goes to the worst case scenario as a way of trying to make sure that you're not surprised. But this is a matter of survival, and we're trying to shift our brain from survival into thriving. So that Three of Swords now is just your heart healing with the swords left to the side. You're holding that heart in your hand. Remember how we held it out in front of us in an objective way. Whatever that original color of pain was, your heart is now a lighter color that's associated with joy. You're continuing to inhale while you imagine your heart healing. And as you imagine this, you can envision a divine light encapsulating your heart, encapsulating yourself, knowing that you're fully protected and that in this moment, you don't have to worry about anything else. Just remembering the sensation of love, of joy, and of happiness. Notice how that original feeling of pain starts to slowly transmute into positivity, into joy, and into hope. Remember that value that came up for you and start to imagine filling that heart with small, actionable steps. Immediately after this meditation, what's one thing that you can do that's in alignment with that value? Again, if it's friends, maybe picking up the phone and calling a friend. If it's family, maybe getting in touch with a family member, letting them know that you're thinking of them, or even sitting down and watching a movie with them. If it's relationships, see if you can decide to download that app. You don't even have to do anything with it. Just download it. One small actionable step that's in alignment with your values. As you imagine your heart healing and encapsulated by that divine protective light, I want you to slowly imagine putting your heart back into that chest area. Even put your hands over your heart right now and see if you can notice a shift. If we went from that negative memory to something a little bit more neutral or even positive. Remember that the feeling of hope lives within all of us, but can be easily forgotten when we're looking towards the past or when we get stuck in those negative memories. So when you're ready, we're going to do a couple more breathings. So we're going to inhale through our nose, exhale through our mouth. Notice how your heart feels with your hands covering it right now. Does it feel foreign? Does it feel more comfortable? One more time, let's inhale through our nose, exhale through our mouth. Now I want you to slowly start to imagine the room that you were originally in. So whether you're noticing that plant in the corner, you're noticing your bookshelf, maybe you're visioning the floor below you. Slowly start to picture that. And one last time, visualize your heart. And I want you to come up with a mantra for yourself. Something along the lines of, I am happy, I'm healthy, and I'm healing. Doesn't have to be that specifically, but some type of affirmation that reminds you that healing is an ongoing process. And just because we feel connected to past pain doesn't mean that something's wrong with us or we've taken steps back, but that we're human and that we can empathize with our past selves. and with others' experiences that are similar. When you're ready, I want you to slowly, slowly, slowly start to open your eyes back up. And we're going to come back, okay? All right. So, one more time, right? When we're talking about the Three of Swords, oftentimes it freaks us out because we think that we're going to have this like massive betrayal or something is going to show up for us. But as an intellectual card, a lot of times this has to do with hurting our own feelings or if we're ruminating on something that happened in the past. So, closing out, if this shows up, just try to detach yourself from the perceived outcomes or the memories, right? There is a Buddhist saying that the root of all suffering is attachment. So the more we are attached to a potential outcome, the more we have a risk of being disappointed or feeling that sense of suffering, right? And you don't have to hold on to it, no matter what it is that happened, whether it was a old friend, a family member, an ex, right? A lot of times we end up in these like feedback loops that end up perpetuating cycles of behavior. And whatever we don't recognize and work on in real time tends to just continue, right? So the fact that you stayed here to do this guided meditation based off of this card means that you are taking one more step towards that growth journey, right? So that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. And then if you have any feedback, I'm always welcome. I understand that the video is janky in Zoom. I get it. But we don't got it like that right now, right? So as always, just remember that you are divinely protected, and I appreciate you so much. Okay. Thank you. Take care.